Okay. Let's go ahead and do some old school shit, if you want to call it that at this point. I'm not really going to. It's actually playing a little bit of Borderlands 1. I'm going to more than likely wrap that shit up probably by tonight. I'm basically at the last mission of the game, which of course has you storming the vault and all that shit. I really hope this one is fucking worth it. I highly doubt it. Might actually seem to be worth it. I gotta replace something else, which sucks. It actually might be worth it. I'll place this, I guess. Shit, I have the wrong thing up. I also did wrap up the trader shit on Red Dead Online, so I'll probably find another day to do that sort of thing. But basically, I'm going to try to get to at least Act 4 in this. And I'm going to more than likely start up a little bit in playthrough 2 on Borderlands 2 at least. Was actually playing Unreal Tournament on the PS2, and I actually found out there's actually a level skip code that actually lets you bypass a good chunk of the game. Because there's technically a unlock everything code, but it doesn't for some reason. Like, it unlocks everything except for the most important shit in the multiplayer, which is of course the levels. There's also some other mutators you can unlock, but I don't know if you get that normally by beating the game or not. I'll have to find out a little bit, probably before I go to bed. It just also might be me, but honestly the game's assault mode isn't exactly clear on what you're supposed to be doing. And it's certainly not Time Splitters 2 levels of cohesive, but I know that for some reason, like, if you try to use the level skip code when you're on the attacking round, you actually fail. I guess you're technically meant to use it after you do the attacking, and then when you put it while you're defending, you'll win. So it's technically true, but not really. I don't know if that's an oversight or some bullshit, but it's kind of made me a little low-key annoyed. It's like, oh, this code is supposed to let you skip a level. It only works on anything except attacking, because it gives a win to the defending team, which doesn't really make any sense to me, but whatever. It's a fairly interesting game. I don't know why they don't let you customize your bindings. You have a bunch of presets, but only like 3 of them are use the modern day control schemes nowadays. It's kind of weird. And basically, the only things that they really do is change your L2 button, which just allows you to change your weapon, the ability to duck, or pull a 180 turn. It's not exactly one controller scheme, it's like actually intuitive, and it's actually kind of sad. The game plays fairly well though otherwise, but it's I know it has like a really weird character selection screen menu, and I also kind of found out that you can't unlock the game's final boss for some reason. I don't really get that at all. I find it to be kind of abhorrent, to be honest. If that's the word I'm looking for. But it's been fairly interesting. Also found I got a completed save for something like King of Fighters 11. All 3 versions, since I noticed the Japanese version is online play, and the European version not only has an option for 50 Hz, but it's infamously glitchy, but using the powers of RetroArch and finding code differences, it's I've been able to find a code that basically completes all the challenges except for one, and then doing that one challenge, which I did the first one, because it's pretty easy, just win without, you can only use your basic moves, but it's pretty easy, you can pick 3 people, so I did that, and I got the unlock confirmation with all the characters, and we got a nice little completed on the main menu screen, so that's pretty nice. I guess the last King of Fighters game actually lets you play as the bosses, because they kind of stopped doing that in the other games. King of Fighters 12 didn't even have a boss, and even if it did, I'm never going to count it. The game was just fucking terrible. King of Fighters 13, you had to use like a modified version of the game, particularly on Steam, the original version. King of Fighters 14 you technically could, but it's such a watered down version that's not even funny, and of course 15 you can't even do that, so it's completely fucking pointless. I know King of Fighters 11 had like a tag mode where you have like the standard traditional mode where it's a team-based battle, but then they also had like a tag mode. I think that was in other King of Fighters games. I'm not 100% certain. But I know it also had Ash Crimson, so that was fairly interesting arc, I guess, if you want to call it that. Yeah, definitely not the best DPS, but it does last a little bit, so that is good. Mana isn't really a big issue, thankfully, so I can just fire and forget, I guess. But yeah, I'm kind of starting to work on Resident Evil 4 for that purpose, though I know that I actually download a save that's like at the end of the game, so that I can get a nice clean system save, and then just actually go through the game, quote unquote, and then go through like professional and shit whenever I feel like playing it legit. Interestingly, the Japanese version actually has 2 extra difficulty modes. But it's also censored, which really makes no fucking sense. So I'm not really sure which is the definitive version, honestly. I know that if I were to play like one version of Resident Evil 4, I'd probably play the Wii version just because it actually has essentially the best of both worlds, being that you have content from the PS2 version, but you also have the ability to use the GameCube controller, so all those purists can like shut up and not worry about such nonsense, but I'll digress. I still think the game is massively overrated, though. Dead Space did everything better than Resident Evil 4, though. Just about. But I also know one of my buddies had the game on PS2, so I kind of wanted to have a save that's basically a make your own sort of thing or whatever. I don't know how to word it, but it's something I wanted to do for quite a while. But just actually playing through it is what's kind of turning me off from it, because, you know, playing Resident Evil 4 and shit. Yuck. But I have deciphered the codes to basically modify the inventory to most of my liking, I guess. Though the inventory system in Resident Evil 4 is just basically ripped off what Deus Ex and Diablo did. It really isn't that unique. I also hate the can't combine reload, but people actually defend that, and they call themselves Resident Evil fans, okay. It makes the combat more challenging. Well, remember when you're fighting Nemesis or Mr. X in Resident Evil 2? You know, Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 and how you weren't able to combine reload? Oh yeah, I certainly don't remember that. It's never fucking happened. Like, even the shittier game that a lot of people consider Resident Evil 5, you can at least do that. It's a core mechanic of Resident Evil. How people defend its exclusion is beyond me. I don't think there was a manual reload in Resident Evil 1 and 2, or even 3. So they had that to compensate. I think it was only the DS version of Resident Evil 1, though. I know that version got quite a bit of quality of life updates, but unfortunately the rebirth mode is such ass and shit that I don't even know if I feel like talking about that, to be honest. Like, only half the game is actually worth playing, and that's kind of sad, to be honest. Like, you can say shit about the arrange mode, but at least it didn't drastically change the game to the point of being completely unrecognizable. I'll at least mention that. But yes, I have also technically gone through the Saturn versions of Resident Evil and its Japanese counterpart Biohazard, so I can basically access battle mode and the new Game Plus features about worrying about bullshit, I guess. I'm kind of annoyed though that with the DS version you can't play the mode that they added without playing a multiplayer, and I'm pretty sure it's just like a Link version of what Resident Evil on the Saturn did. It wasn't like an actual cooperative mode. I think it was just a separated instance battle mode or some shit, which technically was just you pick a character, you go to the chest, and then you go through like a series of rooms or something. It's kind of like a precursor to a battle mode that would eventually be in the other games, but it was only in the Saturn version of all things. And they also made Chris' scenario harder for no reason, like having you fight a second tyrant. And apparently there's like an exclusive enemy you fight too. Which, I mean, I guess it's cool, but it's just really dumb. Oh no, it's I don't know why they made that one feature so exclusive to the Saturn version. Like, I really don't get it. Yeah, I gotta go with the center. Like I mentioned, I'm not really fond of this area, honestly. It's probably my least favorite area in the game, because of how kind of low-key confusing it can be. fuck. Yeah, I just wanted that, tome of jewel crafting. That's the only reason why I bothered to die there, I guess. Wait, this area is kind of low-key confusing. I wouldn't say it's like the worst part of the game, but it definitely is my least favorite. Let me just check one more thing really quick. Okay, I don't think it follows you around, which I'm going to assume is what the Spider Queen does. Nah, it's not to my liking. Shit. Yeah, I fucked up. Oh my god, I hit the fucking A button again. I'm dead. Wow. I really fucked up, honestly. Let me check the skills. Do you have Cosmic Wings? This is actually the original version of Diablo 3. As in, the Xbox 360 version of Diablo 3. I don't think I've seen you around here, to be honest. I think the algorithm has actually blessed me today because of the title, I guess. You were just wondering. Fair enough. But no, I don't have those. I don't know if they were in the original release. But yeah, I'm trying to go through this game, the vanilla version, and copy the save to the Reaper of Souls version that I also got an Xbox 360, and then finally transfer that version to the Xbox One version. Because I'm pretty sure you can transfer saves from the previous gen versions, right? That is still a thing you can do, I hope. Currently on Hell, I believe, and I only had... Not Hell, sorry. Nightmare, yeah. Fuck. The third difficulty. And then I gotta go through it one more time, and then I'm done. I think Nightmare is the last one. It's also on Xbox 360, because I don't like that you can't play this game on PC without having to deal with the annoying ass DRM that Blizzard put into their game, which I don't think anyone learned their lesson when they pulled the same shit of Diablo 4, but I'll digress. It's kind of disgusting, to be honest. I might actually switch out the Spirit Barrage with the other skill I had, so I can at least get much more better damage, I think, because this DPS is not working out right now. I'm kind of low-key rushing, but I can't really get too mad, I guess. It's not exactly a game that induces raging, unless you're playing on hardcore mode, which I can totally understand, but I'm not really for that, to be honest. I understand there's like a demographic for that, but I don't care. It's also not on a seasonal character. Essentially the absolute precursors to that of battle passes, except not as annoying if you think about it. Mainly because it was pretty much optional, and it's everyone was at least on even grounds with it. I think the only thing you got really out of it was like cosmetics, I think, or something, or some sort of prestigious award or something. I really don't know. All I know is that I never bothered with those seasonal events, but I'm surprised they're still ongoing even for this game, so I guess Blizzard must care. But I don't think the people who made this are at Blizzard anymore, and if they do, they're probably at, like, you know, another part of the company that's, like, not as handy, I guess. Oh, no. Oh yeah, I do like Diablo 3. I know that 2 is a lot better, but I know I'm going to be playing the original version because Blizzard also kind of fucked up on the remaster of that. That's like the one remaster that could have kind of redeemed them, but they kind of fucked up on that. Let's be honest. At least the worst part's over, I think. Not really a fan of this zone, to be honest. I'm also at least looking forward to being able to finally fully upgrade the blacksmith and the artisan, because those tomes drop pretty damn scarcely. I've gotten so many blacksmith pages, but barely any jewel crafting not pages, books, and it's kind of disgusting, like legit. Anyway, so yeah, I've been going through various PS2 games via RetroArch. Mainly for save data preservation purposes, but also like finding ways to unlock things in the game without doing much effort at all or whatever. Mainly games I've owned, but also some other games too, I guess. Just depends on the game, I guess. Because save data preservation is pretty important in the grand scheme of things. And since I've been getting a bit more familiar with RetroArch, I've been making that commitment, I guess, if you want to call it. I've also actually found a code that basically lets me speed up the regular time trial unlock process in RC Revenge Pro. So I technically no longer need to use the code every time I play the game. Which is kind of redundant, I guess, but if I ever feel like playing the real hardware, I have a feather in the cap for that sort of thing. Been trying to figure out what other game I could technically go through next. I actually did finally complete a Grand Theft Auto on DOS. Finally got a nice clean save of all the characters unlocked. Or not all characters, I'm sorry. All the characters beaten on all 6 missions in the original Grand Theft Auto. I have to see if the expansions are worth doing in their own capacity, but I'm definitely backing up the save data of that, since that took quite a bit of time, to be honest. It took, like, quite a bit. Definitely will be recording footage from that game for whenever I feel like talking about the Rockstar again, I guess. I'm not sure when, but you never know. Also going to be doing a video kind of like clearing up some things I said in my other Mortal Kombat video I made a little while ago. Just, I got footage for it, I just need to maybe do a little bit more and then maybe record other game footage, I guess. I'm definitely going to do the same thing with Jet Set Radio, the Dreamcast version. Not the Japanese version, the... Excuse me. You deserve more subscribers, I will help. Why, thank you, Ducky1337. It's very kind of you. You can also join the Discord if you wish and partake in lovely conversations there. And if you're not able to or don't want to, then that's fine. But those words are very encouraging. I appreciate that. If you stick around, I'll be doing some Borderlands 1 next. Also, well, not on the Xbox 360, no, but on the PS3. We'll have to wrap that game up too. Get into the second playthrough. New Game Plus, at least, so what do you want to call it. Also go for that game for similar reasons, but since I actually found a copy of Borderlands, the Complete Edition, whatever it's called, it has all the games on disc and also has a second disc that lets you install the DLC, I figured why not. I think I got a pretty good build going with Roland that'll help me get through the game. I already did the trader role stuff and read that online for the day, so I'll probably do that another day. I don't really feel like doing Kaio stuff, to be honest. It's I don't necessarily want to bore myself to death. Literally. Surprisingly, Chapter 4 is not that long. It's kind of weird, but it's, I guess it makes sense. I know Act 2 kind of drags on quite a bit. The third one, not so much, but I know that Act 4 is pretty damn short. And yes, I did get the staff that lets you enter the cow level. No, sorry, not the cow level. No, not the cow level. No, it's not the cow level. The game even tells us there is no cow level. But I did get the staff from that, and apparently on the console version, they actually made it a lot easier. Those damn dirty console peasants always having it easy compared to PC players are a piece of shit. But yeah, that farming process to get the staff initially was honestly a bit of a pain. Mainly because of fighting the boss that drops it was probably the hardest part, to be honest. Everything else didn't take near as long as I thought. That and probably just like really shitty luck with the RNG, I guess. It's also making me want to go through Gauntlet Dark Legacy, to be honest. Alright, let's do this again. I also noticed my gear is completely broken, so I'm going to have to course. Alright, let's go repair our shit. As long as I don't die first. What the fuck? Wow. Getting fucked up by level 1 spiders. Alright, well, let's just resurrect in town. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting to the secret level if I make it that far before I move on to the next part. Nope. No. Here we go. You're probably wondering I have so much gold. Well, it's very simple, actually. I wanted to go for the game on another offline account that's not part of Xbox Live whatsoever. But unfortunately, I don't have the spare account that I use. Because I know on Xbox 360 you can basically make like offline accounts. And that's how people do all that hacking shit or whatever. I don't think it really makes too much of a difference, if I'm going to be honest. But I'm definitely going to try and get rid of the gold once I complete the vanilla version. Also tried playing the game unpatched, but that didn't really last too long for similar reasons. A Nintendo Loot Goblin figure that spawns a portal to the Loot Goblin maze. It's something for the Switch version? Huh. Interesting. It's funny I can actually play Diablo 3 more in a go than something like Overwatch, or even Diablo 4 if it's even on Switch. I think there's also various cosmetics that are Nintendo themed as well that are also on that version, which is interesting, I guess. I haven't put too much time into the Nintendo Switch version, unfortunately. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they were still doing seasonal updates, though, with that. It's like the one thing that Blizzard is, like, still committed to since, like, Diablo 2. Like I said, I'm not really into that seasonal stuff. And it's probably not exciting really playing in hardcore, but I don't really see a point in that, to be honest. Some people see it as a pretty thrilling experience, but I don't know. But speaking of unpatched, I know that apparently people would like farm this boss quite a bit, but then Blizzard nerfed it, now people are pissed off because they have to actually play the game. I could kind of see why, but I guess it really only affects seasonal players, I guess. But I was kind of worried about that initially, but then it's like once I just started playing, it just kind of flowed through naturally. It could be with the modern day patchwork, but maybe once I got into like the second game cycle, I didn't really need to worry too much about farming so much. Because you just get so much better gear that it's not even funny. Even though I've really gotten too many rare items, the ones I have gotten are really good. The only thing I really switch out are weapons, because obviously the damage. I think it's the Nagel Ring, I think it's called. Or even Leoric's Signet that requires level 22. It's still really useful. I do wish I found another weapon that lets you summon the fallen champion, but the weapon I've been using now has been pretty effective, so I can't really complain too much. Anyway, it looks like we're about to be at the end of the game. And I can finally unlock the final difficulty. But of course not before going through the Nautical level, obviously. I'll definitely give Blizzard some credit for actually turning something that people saw as a negative and then turning it into something cool and positive, I guess, if you want to use such buzzwords. Fuck. God, am I playing Diablo or am I watching a comedy show? And I can't remember the name of the skit that people was like running around from each other. Yeah, Benny Hill. There we go, Benny Hill. What the hell is this? Is this Diablo or Benny Hill? Wow. Yeah, this really is just like Benny Hill. What the hell? Remember an episode of Benny Hill? I think it's I don't know if even it's a show, but whatever. I'm just not going with it. Remember an episode of Benny Hill where the forces of hell and heaven were running around in circles around this one structure while also trying to run in a slightly different direction because of fire and brimstone? That was a great episode. It surpassed MASH in terms of how many people actually watched that show. It was amazing. And I'm dead. Probably because of my really stupid joke. But yeah, this dude is actually pretty annoying. A literal gatekeeper for hell and heaven. Oh, you want to play the rest of Act 4? Well, fuck you. You gotta beat this boss first. Wow, thanks, game. I assume you play Diablo 3 on the Switch, as you brought up Nintendo. That's good. I'm actually surprised they kept the local multiplayer, though, that Diablo 3 definitely was made worth playing on console despite the simple additions, to be honest. I always favor a decent game, even if it's cartoony, odd visuals might change series forever, but at least the core gameplay is still there. It's not like Blizzard essentially ruined Diablo 2 with it, but I could probably be wrong on that. Oh shit, that sucks. I guess to be fair, Diablo can be an extremely addicting game. Even to the point that I think the PC version has like an in-game clock or something. Also, I'm gonna assume you're playing the PS4 version, because I don't know if there was like a native PS5 port. And if there isn't, well, shit, I'm gonna have to actually get it. But I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully the gameplay isn't particularly too bad. There we go. Beat him. Now I can advance on the Game Boy Advance. Yippee skippy. Were the load times any better on the PS5 compared to the PS4? Because I noticed some games on PS5 when you play them, like the PS4 games that you play in the PS5, some games actually have a graphical upgrade. Because I know games like Watch Dogs 2 does not benefit from that, even though Watch Dogs 2 does on Xbox, which is annoying. Because I actually really like that game. At least the first two. I can't really say I care too much about Watch Dogs Legion for a number of reasons. Yeah, I think you have to wait until like the very end of the game before you can get the stuff, so me coming back here was kind of a waste. But I know I did my farming at this particular part of the game right before you fight the... at some point before you fight the other boss right before Diablo. I forget his name, but he has like ice powers and shit. It's kind of funny considering that he's a creature from hell. It's kind of funny if you like think about it for like a minute. I only hope that Diablo 4's lore is on point with the rest of the game, because I know that these games do have some form of lore that's interesting. And the game at least does kind of make you care, especially when they decided to kill off Deckard Cain, in a way. But it's, I know Diablo 4 has that online-only shit, which is why I'm not even bothering with it. But I know at some point, at some point I did get the Diablo Battle Chest, which has both Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 plus its expansion, so I can play them as intended. And I've also dabbled a bit with the PlayStation port of Diablo 1, with its strange controls and stuff, but it does have a 2-player mode. You can at least unlock the other difficulties if your character level's high enough, so that's good at least. It's kind of surprising that Diablo 2 never got a console port back then. I'm not talking about the Diablo 2 remaster that we got. I'm talking about like an actual Diablo 2 console port back in the day. I don't know, it probably could have worked, maybe. I mean, if StarCraft's got a Nintendo 64 port of all things, I'm pretty sure a Diablo 2 port would have been sufficient. I'm sure people definitely prefer Diablo 2 over 3, but I just like playing this one because the controls aren't particularly annoying, and despite the dumbed down user interface, at least you can play it offline, which is mainly why I prefer this version over the PC version. It's like the one game you can say it's like actually better on console than PC just for that alone. Like, I seriously cannot stress that enough how important it was for this game to be able to be played on console, just because of that. The framing is actually pretty good too, with the only part of it like really dipping is after the Belial fight, because there's just so much shit going on. Maybe I had the game crash maybe a handful of times, but it wasn't like back to back. It was maybe like for playing for like several hours or whatever. And even then, it's not like I lost a lot of progress. It's maybe a little bit of time because I had to like turn off the console and restart. But I say it's fairly decent, I guess. Oh, that's cool. But have you played Diablo Immortal, the best version of Diablo on mobile devices? Rather play Dungeon Keeper than that shit, I think. Let's just be honest. But yeah, Diablo is a really fun and chill game, to be honest. If Diablo 4 didn't have the online-only DRM shit, I might have probably would have bought it. It's like, can you imagine if Diablo 2, the original, had that DRM shit? Like, nobody would be playing it at that point. It's, it would be completely disgraceful. Like, all those hours spent playing a game you can't even play unless you're connected online. It's just dumb. Like, why do you think people actually played that shit? Because you could, and the game was actually decent. Probably the former is probably not as important, but you still think that even after all these years of Diablo being a thing, you would still like to be able to play the classic, even if it may not be graphically on par with everything else, I guess, but whatever. They also took out LAN mode from console, the Diablo 2 remaster, so you can't really play it faithfully anymore. No LAN mode. How stupid! You can't even do LAN mode in this version and even the Switch version. So, what is Blizzard trying to protect? I thought their warden system was actually decent. I guess not anymore. But I remember some dude who complained about it on the Blizzard forums. He was like, "Oh, I want to play this game with my son," and then people like getting mad at him about it. It's like, well, I think he has every right to be pissed off about that. Now, let the father enjoy a classic game with his son. Like, how dare people? Yeah, I'll probably be doing something tomorrow. It probably won't be Diablo 3, though. Probably GTA Online or Red Dead Online, depending on what I feel like playing, to be honest. I'm not opposed to most things, just don't ask me to play Elden Ring. But most of it is just chatting, but also playing something that I can enjoy without being too mad, I guess, or something. Like, even if I'm not playing like a multiplayer game, the focus isn't really on that, but just enjoying myself and just talking about shit, I guess. And a few times I get people actually watching, forming conversations or whatever. But I am definitely going to try and finish ranking up in Red Dead Online so I can move on to other stuff, because I'm kind of getting annoyed at that game, to be honest. Also gotta catch up on something like AI Limit as well. So I'll probably be playing that sometime soon. But like I said, if you're able to join the Discord, I believe the link is in the video description. If not, then I hope to see you in other sessions or even leaving comments on videos I make, which I'm definitely going to start uploading again soon. And I realize I do not have the summons with me, which is not good. Yes, it is. Don't have many people at the moment, but hopefully, slowly but surely, in doing it the right way, will lead to much better returns than most people who do such things. I can also post it in chat if you can't find it. Here we go. Just give me a second. I'm going to assume the person that joined is you. I have a thing in the Discord where I have to have people be part of a certain role first to cover my ass. So just give me 1 second. There we go. Well, yeah, there's not many people in here, but if I'm not on session, I'm more than likely on here. So make yourself at home and all that fun stuff. And as a wise father once said in Resident Evil 7, welcome to the family, son. But I'm going to be continuing with this for now. I'll probably get to the part where I get to the not cow level, I guess. ACVR. I'm going to assume that stands for Armored Core VR. That would be interesting, actually. I don't think we've had like an Armored Core game in VR. Shit. I also just realized the 1337 is Duck Elite. Very funny pun, by the way. The Elite Duck. Very interesting. Wow, I just want to run in circles, I'm done. I do find it funny that Diablo 3 technically has randomly generated levels, but the levels that they design is kind of like almost the same in a way, so you don't really tell it's random until you like actually look at the land a couple times. Like, oh, it's actually different. Yes, it is, but I will be switching over to Borderlands 1 soon. And unfortunately, I'm also dying quite a bit, too. It is the final act, after all. But also means one more game cycle and I can finally complete this game, quote unquote. I also reached max level too. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, it's on PS4. I don't know if it's on sale right now, but I'm pretty sure you can play this game without needing a Battle.net account. I think the only thing you get for linking it, though, is some special bonus item that may or may not be useful. I know the expansion did add adventure mode, though it's basically like a post-game version where you can essentially go through to any of the areas or whatever, because the original release did not have that non-linear exploration, which it kind of annoyed people, to be honest, and I don't really blame them. So they kind of fixed it when they made Diablo 3. Well, I know the game is a pretty infamous cryptocurrency thing going on, but I actually have not. I think the game is coming to Steam, though, which is interesting. That's, like, really the only thing I've known of it, to be honest. Because I keep dying a lot, like, holy shit. I am curious how people in Steam are going to view the game, though. Because I don't think it did get a console. I don't think it was released on PC initially, but now it's going to, I guess. Or that it's going to be on Steam. Whatever platform outside of whatever PC part it is, I really don't know. Yeah, my equipment is completely fucked. Just gonna salvage all this very quick, and then sell all the junk. Yeah, the limb system is interesting, but it's still a battle royale at the end of the day, even if you're technically doing more than that. It's, like, even the game, like you even mentioned, that they don't let you play in solos right now, so it's, I'm not really a fan of rotating modes of that favor, and I'm pretty sure it's affected you, so I hope we're not going to have heated arguments over that. I think that's like one thing we can agree on is that those type of rotating modes is just annoying. It's also why I'm not really fond of Warzone in a way, because when I actually first played it, the mode that was there was essentially the Battlefield Light, where it was a large team deathmatch based structure, but then they removed that, and now it's just battle royale. Well, whatever it is, it's not ideal for you, and it wouldn't be ideal for me. It's let's not come up with defenses for it when I've heard quite a bit of things about how they should add the mode back or whatever. I at least hope it'll be there whenever the game launches on Steam. I'm not even sure if it is on Steam right now. I could check very quick. I am going to be probably switching over to Borderlands, though, in a little bit. Probably after this quest. Probably would help if I actually checked the Steam page instead of Reddit, to be honest. But I did put OTG Steam on Google, and I didn't get anything, so it's probably not even on there yet. Yeah, but you still... There's only options for trios, I think. Which is kind of funny because Elden Ring Night Rain has that exact same problem where you can only do solos or trios. You can't have duos, and there's no quads. So, if you can't even customize the multiplayer co-op style to your liking, what fun is that? You still have to end up playing with one random who may or may not help in any capacity. Shit. I'm also not going to go into the fact that you basically have to pay for Pro to get ahead of the game in some capacity. It's certainly not like how RuneScape does it. And even that game has been a lot more lenient with it, though. You're still basically encouraged to subscribe to a subscription if you want to keep up with the game. Well, it's definitely just not the modes thing. It's even something you yourself have expressed. Like, personally, if Warzone did have that mode where it's just like a big map scale team deathmatch with the vehicles instead of Battle Royale, I could maybe try putting some time into it because, you know, it's just really casual whatever. But it's now it's just primarily focused on Battle Royale, which is kind of dumb. It's not even really that unique. It's just basically Battlefield, but on a slightly lesser scale, which is fine, I guess. But I just don't like Battle Royale. Period. There's only 2 instances of that where I'll accept it. Lives-based game modes and the racing mode where the person in last place gets eliminated. And that's it. And even then, the only real popular racing game is like Forza Horizon. That's like so freaking vanilla. So many racing games of old that have way more personality than... Oh. Well, shit. The game crashed. I could hex hunt, but if I'm not enjoying it, then why even bother playing it? And yeah, I know I haven't played it, but it's I would still have to subscribe to a service to keep up with it. But yeah, I was going on about how this game is actually pretty okay on console, except now it's actually crashed quite a bit. It's probably due to the fact there's just a lot of enemies on screen. It just makes the game shit itself. So yeah, I have a feeling that the higher difficulties you go, the more likely the game is going to crash. But I'm also not entirely locked on, unfortunately. So it is partly due to that. Also, like, don't you lose stuff if you're, like, doing hex hunting or whatever? Like, I know that extraction shooters are based on this type of gameplay mode where it's essentially high risk and, you know, it has a lot of risk to it, and if you end up dying, you lose everything. Not really a fan of that, too, to be honest. Also, games like Escape from Tarkov is ridiculously expensive. But I'm not going to really get into that, 'cause it's not really about that, but I don't even like those type of hardcore games anyway. Like, this would be like if RuneScape always had those PvP worlds where people can just attack at any time and you just lose everything if you get killed. And those games have pretty annoying metas. You see, minding your own business, someone just hits you with magic and you're basically dead, and you lose all your hard work. It's not very fun, in my opinion. Am I going to add any rules to the rules? Most of it is pretty straightforward. I guess I could go over it very quick. Any member that joins Discord must present themselves if asked. Outside of aforementioned, trust users and have a good reason to be dormant. Zero tolerance policy on lurkers. Those who wish to increase their trust, security levels, and actually engage in management of the members. Golden rules encouraged. Conversation to kill Netflix channel be over hobbies, interests, and like. It is not an exercise of unhealthy nature. However, this is an English Discord server, and no channels of entertainment partaking topics, shit that's bad. Debate civilly and agree to disagree. No publishing of personal information. No phishing or catfishing. It's not a hookup Discord, and advertising is allowed if given permission. I don't know, it's, I mean, I could watch it, I guess, but I don't know if it's something I would enjoy, honestly, dude. I really don't know how many times I have to explain this. Anyway, let me switch back. I'm actually going to be playing Borderlands 1 for a little bit. I'm going to try to finish up the PS3 version. But yeah, basically the fact you're forced to play with trios, whatever the bounty system is, I'm honestly not sure how that works, but I can imagine that can really throw off games or whatever. Playing with randoms just sucks anyway. Like, a lot of games have that thing where playing with randoms just almost always ruins your mood unless you're playing something like extremely casual, like Call of Duty Domination, because at least in those, people usually have an idea how to play it, but it's just certainly not something I would enjoy playing. And also having to pay for that subscription too is also part of it. Yes, very funny, but I am technically speaking some truths to that. Unless you're talking about the other part, about the rules. It is. It's the original Borderlands. Well, I'm technically playing on PS3, but it's also the Game of the Year Enhanced Edition, whatever, on PS4. It actually came out, I believe, a month before Modern Warfare 2 back then. And I actually would rather play this game over Modern Warfare 2. Crazy, I know. I also got the PS3 version that comes with all the other games on one disc and the DLC installer, so why not get a chance to go through the game again? I finished through 2, though the dialogue in the game annoys the piss out of me, and I've yet to go through pre-sequel, but I probably will at some point. And no, it's not free to play, but whatever. I don't even need to really describe that. And I'm dead. Never mind. You'll have to excuse me for running past all this shit, but it's just pretty much the end of the game, so there might be spoilers, I guess. The frame rate isn't particularly the best, but it is a PSC version, so I guess it's to be expected, but I just enjoyed the game, period. The aesthetic in Borderlands 1 is a lot more appealing, even if some areas do kind of look the same in some parts, but I definitely do not like the story or dialogue in Borderlands 2. Chalk one up for pre-sequel as well. They're just really annoying games that just try so hard to be funny. And maybe the only character that maybe kind of pushed it is Tannis, but it's not like the characters are always talking or yapping or whatever. There's only like one line of dialogue in the game that can be kind of considered cringe, but it's not without proper context, I guess, if that makes sense. And even then, it's not really that offensive. I know Destiny kind of copied off Borderlands, but I know you have to be connected online to play it. And even having played the first one a bit, it's just really boring, to be honest. I guess it's kind of interesting how like the players can see each other as ghosts, or it's kind of like a way to play the game in a way, but you don't have to. It's a game that does not require constant online to play. Like, I really don't get it. It's not even like Phantasy Star Online, where it's you could technically play the game in offline mode, but it was pretty much made to be an online experience first. So I don't even know what's up with that. But it's the type of shooter that I enjoy, honestly. At least. For like a modern day one, I guess. That or like Far Cry, I guess. Anything besides 6. Far Cry 6 is fucking terrible. I hate it. Way too dumbed down, really stupid story, completely gimped gameplay mechanics that were perfectly fine in the other games. I hate it. Yeah, it has tanks and horseback riding, but with how much they took out, it's not even worth it. And most of, not all of them, the ones I play at least, you don't have to worry about dealing with random people or dealing with internet shit. Even Borderlands 2 has a lot of content, even if you were to get the Handsome Collection, because they essentially added all the prior add-ons from the Xbox 360, mind you. And there was quite a bit of DLC for that game, most of which was essentially added a bunch of extra hours into the game. I think Borderlands 1 only got maybe 4 expansions, and one of them essentially almost killed the series due to it essentially being a really shitty wave-based survival mode that wasn't even worth going through. But it's still a lot more engaging than a lot of games these days, honestly. Oh no, weapons and enemies are level gated. Oh no. What a stupid argument, honestly. Like, people aren't trying to rank up like their Pokemon in whatever game they're playing nowadays. I know people don't like the ending to this game, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It's not Mass Effect 3, I'll at least leave it at that. I'd say it's one of those endings where it has more questions than answers, but I don't think Borderlands 1 had a major focus on story, to be honest. Like, it's there, but I think people need to realize that some games aren't made to have, like, a super exciting narrative. Like, at least it's more interesting than No Country for Old Men. I think we can at least agree on that. And that's, like, considered one of the more well-received movies, but nothing really happens in that movie. At least in this game, things are actually happening. Now, granted, it doesn't really start to pick up until you get to New Haven, but still, there's definitely things going on. It's not presented in your usual way. Which is funny, because people praise Dark Souls for having a story that doesn't handhold it, but then when something like this game comes out, people get mad that they're not having their story spoon-fed to them, which is incredibly retarded. It's actually I've been kind of noticing it recently. Especially when Yongye made that really stupid statement about Elden Ring or whatever. But this was definitely like the holy shit moment, even if it is kind of underwhelming and that the final boss fight is kind of low-key a joke. It's mainly about the journey, not the destination, I guess, if that makes sense. It's like, okay, we finally get the vault open, and then, holy shit, she dies. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it definitely could have been handled better, but I don't think it's as bad as people made it out to be. And apparently people complained about the Destroyer being ridiculously easy in the original, so they made him pretty challenging in the remaster. So, yay. Which I don't really care, to be honest, but some people really criticize games in a really weird way, and yet the goal to say that I'm being negative, whatever. I'm not going to really get into that. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, the big boy, basically. Yeah, this is the actual final boss. And mind you, this thing was not really elaborated on, so if you're actually to play this game proper, it would actually be kind of shocking. Just gotta make sure I don't go down, though, because one thing I will criticize this game for is that when you're playing in single player, if you go down and you don't get a second wind, all the enemies get their health back, and it's really fucking annoying. Especially if you don't get your second wind. It wasn't until Borderlands 2 you can actually move around. In this game, you can only like shoot in place. Though you can at least turn and stuff, but it's still really annoying. The game is significantly easier if you're playing in split screen or co-op in general, since enemies usually don't regenerate their health, whatever, like fully. And it's not just for boss fights, but like regular enemies too. So they could be down to like the last pixel because you didn't kill them in time. They get all their health back, and it's really, really annoying. Like, technically enemies do technically regenerate health, I guess, but you'd have to not shoot at them for a while for that to happen. Yeah, look at that. All the health restored. Not really a fan of that. It also doesn't help I'm not using a proper weapon. I'm using a weapon that only shoots twice. There's also weapon proficiency, which is another thing people complain about, but I'm not going to really get into that because it's such a nothing argument. What proficiencies have been in a lot of games, people just don't realize it, or they're just being mad at Borderlands for the sake of it. It's really dumb. Like, you can still use a weapon that has 0 proficiency and still do good at it, simply because you have weapons that are higher level, whatever. It just means that weapons that you use in the same class will marginally get better, but it's not that, oh, if I use only pistols, then I'm not going to be able to use anything else. The game is not that stupid with proficiencies. Fuck. You actually can get knocked off, by the way. That's not there just for show. Damn. I'm doing really horribly. Fuck. Do. Oh, fuck. Shit, I unequipped my pistol for some reason. Fuck. Yeah, I definitely gotta go back and get better something. Motherfucker. Yep, gets all this health back. I might have to do this in split screen, to be honest. Let me go back to, wow. Yeah, technically the game does not pause when you're, in that menu. So definitely gotta keep that in mind. Go back to Crimson Enclave. Maybe we can get a quick level up, I guess. Also, one thing I really like better in Borderlands 1 and 2 is that ammo prices do not scale. So you could get ammo reasonably pretty well, whereas in Borderlands 2, it's like, oh, well, you're at the very end of the game, you're going to spend like $50,000 for rocket ammo. It's really dumb. So I am definitely not a fan of that whatsoever. It's not even like, oh, you can buy a bundle of ammo to make it more expensive. It's just, no. The ammo prices just increase for no real reason. And people actually defend that too, which is kind of insane. And also one thing that kind of makes me mad too is that it doesn't say destroyer destroyed. It says destroyer defeated. That's really stupid. Obviously nitpicking, of course, but come on. It really should have said destroyer destroyed. Really stupid meta joke there, but still, that would have been at least kind of funny. Also, no doubt, it's probably one of the better, probably one of the best areas to farm XP, since the Crimson Lance are pretty powerful dudes. They give you a good ton of experience, and even these enemies in particular, or the badass rates, give you a lot of XP. And they also drop items too, so they're definitely worth kind of farming, I guess. I also like how in Borderlands 1 there's a Claptrap rescue missions, and if you actually do them, they're actually worth it, because it can actually increase your inventory space. And also Claptrap isn't completely annoying in this game, which is also good, for obvious reasons. It's, he's not an annoying shit compared to Borderlands 2. Switch over to explosive bouncing Betty regular, I guess. It might help, it might not. Wait, this revolver is actually pretty powerful, honestly. It's the the Pestilent Defiler. Basically, it has a really high corrosive chance. And it also just does ridiculous damage anyway. Even if it only takes 2 bullets, I'm pretty sure it's more than enough to kill anything that moves, especially with the corrosive bonus. It was also really good at these enemies, honestly, so it's even worth it for that matter. Not to mention the critical damage too, which also helps. Just makes them melt, literally melt. Also, their pain and screaming is surprisingly tragic. At least it means it's satisfying, I guess. Holy shit, that frame drop. Oh wow, there we go. Alright, I should have a decent, hopefully a decent amount of stuff now. Unfortunately, I only have this. Might work, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, if I still can't do it, I'm probably gonna have to do it in split screen. Alright, shops have new inventory. Let's see what they have. Here we go. Standard Acid Burst Shield. Alright, let's see. I'm going to focus on other abilities for now. I'll go with... Oh shit, I didn't fucking add stockpile, I'm fucked. Definitely need that. It's like the most mandatory skill points for Whirlwind because you can basically get ammo back. And I guess that extra health too. But that's it. But yeah, I'll do Metal Storm, the shield, since there's going to be enemies I can kill, and the grenades. There we go, that's a little better. Alright, let's sell all of our crap. Oh, I can actually equip the shield first, that would help. Here it is. Alright. Now let's solve our shit. I'll keep that rifle for now. Maybe it might be useful, it might not. Yeah, this I have just so I can do grenade jumps. That's basically the only reason I can keep it. Yeah, this I gotta keep. Yeah, that I don't really need. This I don't need. Oh, what the hell. I'll get this just in case. You never know. I got like 42 slots. That should be more than fine. Alright, let's try to fight. Let's try to fight the boss again. Let me switch over to the SMG. Well, I'm definitely doing much more damage, though, probably because I'm on the same level as the boss, probably. Oh, fuck. There we go. I almost fucked up. Motherfucker. There we go. Well, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this fight on split screen. This is definitely the part of the game that just shows how annoying that system is. Well, whatever. I don't really care, to be honest. I really want to get to playthrough 2 and then eventually move on to other things, so fuck it. I don't care that the other dude is like level 12, I don't really care. As long as I'm in co-op, I should have a marginally easier time enduring the bullshit. It might be a lot harder, but at least I can not worry about bullshit. And I've also like no fucking ammo for my grenades, which is nice. Oh well. But yeah, you notice how the boss's health bar did not completely restore itself? That's why playing co-op, even in split screen, is just so much more durable, honestly. It's the same boss. It's just I'm playing in split screen, so I don't have to worry about the health getting its health back. So at least I can kind of win. I mean, call it cheating, but it's a mechanic that doesn't even happen if you're playing in single player, so whatever. But yes, I did level up. Hey, no, you can't throw grenades while in Fight for Your Life, unfortunately. There we go. Critical, bitch! Ugh. Fuck. I'm not even really worried about the money, to be honest. It's just, I don't want this boss to keep getting its health back, and I gotta, like, keep enduring shit, honestly. Fuck. Fuck. Oh well. But yeah, that laser attack is just really annoying. There might be a way to dodge it, but I really don't know, to be honest. Also noting that if you do actually go down, your action skill does disappear. So that turret I had, if I were to stay alive for maybe like 5 more seconds, it actually would have been somewhat useful, but unfortunately not. Yeah, I also gotta start switching weapons too, because I'm just like running out of ammo and everything. There we go. Also, killing those tentacles helps since they're tank counts an enemy and you get a free second win. Free, yeah, right. I guess an easy one, not necessarily free, but still, you know. Yeah, I guess I go back to the bottom to avoid that. The shockwave, but I don't really care. Yeah, I'm not really fond of burst weapons, but at least in this game there's plenty of exceptions. You got that shotgun you get from one of the later bosses in the game that I'm pretty sure is a guaranteed drop. Essentially shoots, it empties your magazine as shotguns, but every shot you fire out of it just shoots rockets. I think that's really neat. Of course, you got various elemental weapon types. Some are even explosive, which is nice too. There we go. Just barely made it. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to run out of ammo. It's not very good. Yeah, I have no revolver ammo. I only have 3 rockets. Holy shit. I have like no ammo for anything except maybe a couple of SMG bullets. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like throw down the turret, I guess, with the other controller. Because I have no fucking ammo or anything. Holy shit. Well, that's all I could do. Thanks, Patrick. You're a fucking asshole. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose all my fucking money. Bogus. Well, at least it's almost dead. Also, for whatever reason, like, sometimes the fight for your life meter will just, like, decrease faster than you can blink. I really don't get that. And it's extremely annoying when it does happen. Oh, this fucker is nearly dead. So we just continue pushing onward. Here, I'll melee the boss. Yeah, that's gonna fucking work. Yeah, it's like Turok Dinosaur Hunter, I guess. Fuck. Okay, he should be dead now. Fuck. Alright, whatever. Just gotta shoot him in the eye a couple more times and it will finally go down. There we go. Holy shit. And he came in his pants. It's so fucked. You opened the vault. What? Now go. I'll contact you again soon. Angel was a Hyperion product? Meanwhile, at Firestone, Claptrap turns into an unfunny motherfucker. The end. And I'm pretty sure that was, I'm pretty sure there was a DLC based around that. And the credits. Credits with, the fucking, there we go, yeah, credits, okay, we don't care. And very mid-tier loot, honestly. Yeah, all done. Well, not really, because now I have to go through New Game Plus. Or at least starting it, I guess. I'll at least start up New Game Plus on Borderlands 1. I'll probably get up to the entrance to Scat Gully. That shouldn't really take too long. I'll definitely save Diablo 3 for next time, though. I do want to at least get to the next act, though, so I'll probably do that when in the morning or something. Maybe while I'm like waiting for the trader bar to fill or whatever, when I order supplies and read that online. Or whatever, while I wait for the Kaio cooldown or something. Technically, Borderlands, they take a lot of ideas from Diablo. It's just that instead of being an isometric action game, it's a first-person shooter. Which is fine. It definitely works. A lot of games have essentially copied off of Borderlands in some capacity. Like, I don't think there's really been anything like Borderlands before it came out. Maybe not particularly the looting idea, like that's been around for a long time, but like in a first-person sequence, I'm pretty sure Borderlands might be one of the earliest of its kind. Alright, second quest time. Basically, enemies are more stronger, and that's really about it. Though I know if you get to Destroyer in playthrough 2, you unlock the ability for enemies to scale around your level, which can either be a good thing or a bad thing, I guess. It's not really too many major differences, I think, besides like enemy names being pretty different. But unfortunately, the opening of Borderlands 1 is still pretty slow, even on New Game Plus, but at least to be fair, in Borderlands 1, it does start off slow because it wants to get you intertwined to the mechanics. It's definitely not as bad as, say, what the hell is it? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, whatever. Have I ever beat Dead Island 1 or 2? I unfortunately have not. I'll have to keep that in mind for future sessions, though, so thank you for the reminder. Let's see. I'll go with the cooldown. Yeah, I'll go with the deploy thing. Yeah, I'll go with deploy since it'll reduce the cooldown quite a bit. But yeah, I actually haven't been playing that out in a good minute, but I'll definitely have to now that you reminded me, actually. It's funny because Dead Island is basically like a post-apocalyptic version of this game, to be honest. It almost has some of the same mechanics, really. The only thing it really lacks is a split-screen mode. And I'm mainly talking about the original, at least. I haven't finished the sequel, I think, but I could still get around to it if there's enough interest. Yeah, Diablo is... It's both visually pleasing to look at, and it's just... At least it's not as boring to watch compared... Actually, no, wait, no. I worded it completely wrong, sorry. It's, Yeah, I know that something like RuneScape would be interesting to watch, but honestly, might or might not be boring depending on how much you really like the game. I don't know, it's something like RuneScape could be interesting to play, but it could be boring to watch unless you really, really like the game. It's kind of like World of Warcraft, I guess. It could be fun to play, but not really fun to watch unless you like watching high stakes PvP. Especially the loser loses everything. You ever seen people like raging and stuff? It's like a good spot to look at, to be honest. I know people like to say you wouldn't survive in a Call of Duty lobby, particularly Modern Warfare 2, which would be true if you wouldn't be banned today for saying something like, "Oh, you're a poopy head," and you get banned for like a week because someone used the in-game report function happens to be in their favor. But like, if you want to see like actual rage though, just look up like RuneScape high stakes PvP rage or something. There's a reason why the expression all the marbles can apply. Or something of that nature. Which I understand there's an audience and demographic for that sort of thing, but there's also a reason why it's not readily advisable for such things. Because it's, winner takes all, literally. All those hours put into getting the best gear, and you lose to somebody, and you lose it in a blink of an eye. That's gonna piss off a priest. Or more appropriately, it's all fun and games until it happens to you. It's also partly why I'm not really too keen on extraction shooters, because it's like I don't think there's a way to like just play in a safer environment, which I understand there's a type of narrative for that or whatever, but like it's not everyone's into that hardcore shit. I don't know, but yeah, I'll definitely finish up Act 4 of Diablo 3 off session so that I can go through the game one more time on Hell difficulty. And also finally finishing up on upgrading the Artisan and the Blacksmith. Because the materials you need to make for them can be annoying to gather, so... I'll make sure at least to show off the Whimsy Gale, I think it's called, the secret level, before I go into the final difficulty. At least a good thing with at least maybe Diablo and Borderlands is that they do encourage cooperative play, but you're not really missing anything out if you are playing in solo play. The only reason I went to split screen is so I could beat the boss because of just how the revival mechanic works or whatever. Just so I have to keep worrying about having to refight the boss or whatever. At least in single player I can kind of get by, I guess. It's at least more manageable, if that makes sense. I only do that in like certain parts, so I don't have to worry about the boss getting all its health back, or enemies in general. But one thing that does kind of suck though, and I know this was something that was fixed in Borderlands 2, but you actually don't get to like start completely over for your character. Like there's no. Usually most games have a new game plus, you can just like reset, you know, from the beginning, but you keep most of your shit. This game doesn't really do that. They actually added a mode where it's like that, technically to a point. You can like reset your progress, but you, I don't know how the hell to explain it. You reset your story progress, but it's you can reset it whenever, if that makes sense. In this game, there's no such thing. You would have to like play the PC version and use a save editor to basically wipe your story progress, which is kind of unintuitive. I actually might get up to the point where you get the vehicle for the first time, but that's as far as I'll go, and I'm actually gonna get off. But thankfully, with my overpowered gear, I guess, if you want to call it that, it should be more than manageable. I don't understand games that only have a finite amount of game cycles. Strangely enough, Final Fantasy IV on DS had that, where despite it not having the bonus content from the PSP and GBA versions, it has an augment system and a fairly interesting number of changes that does make it almost stand out compared to other versions of the game, but you can only go for the game like a total of 3 times and that's it. It's kind of friggin' stupid if you ask me. So I really don't get that, to be honest. Technically, Lords of the Fall did that too, where you can only go for the game twice, and then that's it. Honestly, not really a fan of that. I find it to be kind of dumb. Oh yeah, I forgot to equip the brutal equalizer from earlier. It basically just gives you a regenerating pistol. Oh, not pistol ammo, sorry. It gives you regenerating magnum rounds, which in this game there's actually 2 different ammo types for your pistols and magnum. Though you still have the same pistol, what the hell is it called? You still have your same, fuck, I can't speak right now. Fucking weapon proficiencies. They did get rid of that in Borderlands 2 though. They just kept the 2 pistol rounds, which would be fine, I guess, except for the fact that, like I mentioned, in Borderlands 2, they as you go further into the game, the ammo prices increase like no real reason. Like, you can go back to, like, the first area of the game and get ammo for dirt cheap, but then as you go further into the game, you have to spend, like, a lot of money, and I just think it's really dumb. Or even, like, the first area we can actually start buying, like, rocket launcher ammo would be actually more advisable, just so that you don't spend lots of money on rockets. It's ridiculous. Really, it is. Also, the price of the shields do kind of get pretty insane. You technically do have to buy a shield to move on, which is kind of silly. So I might as well sell what I have for now. I'm only going to keep like the really good shit though, so things like Boomstick, the Thunderstorm. Because some of these R vents are going to be outclassed. Except for fighting out the class mods, those are in their own league. Let's see, keep this, keep that, get rid of this. I think it's the same one that I have, maybe. Yeah, it's the exact same one. But yeah, this is also going to help since you do since you get ammo back at a moderately good pace. So at least ammo for this weapon won't be too much of a problem. Shit. You still have to unlock fast travel though. And I believe depending on what main mission you're on will determine what areas you can travel to. I've kind of learned this the hard way with some areas. You can like use grenades to skip to or whatever. Oh shit. Oh yeah, I'm getting tired, but I do want to at least push forward a little bit. Like I said, these opening missions aren't the best pace, but it does help you get used to the game's mechanics early on. Whether it be taking down certain enemies, learning how the vendors work, exploration stuff as a whole. Fucked up. There we go. Then slowly but surely the game gradually introduces you to the grenades, so it does have some purpose. But yeah, since I'm basically finished, quote unquote, with Borderlands 1, I won't be playing it as much, depending on how I'm feeling. Since I've basically beaten it, quote unquote, but I do want to have the save file ready for transfer in the PS4 version, but of course that's going to require getting to at least level 51, I think, since that's the last, not 51, sorry, 61, because you have over level 211, or something like that. Shit. Motherfucker. Well, yeah, definitely getting Sledge's shotgun in the second game cycle is also going to help quite a bit. It's a really tricky weapon to use, but if you use it correctly, it can dish out quite a bit of damage. Apparently there's a trick in the PC version where you can like drop the weapon because it's actually a drop command without having to pause the game. But it basically makes it so that the weapon is instantly reloaded. You can just keep firing it quite a bit, but unfortunately, the most you can really do in this is let reload, and then as the number goes back to 2, because it only has 2 shots, unless you have weapons that increase weapon magazine. I think there's something that lets you fire more shots, and you need like a ridiculously high number, I think, for it to take effect. But basically, it loads it. Fuck, stupid. It basically shoots all the shells at once, but it also has ridiculous knockback on enemies. You can sometimes send higher level enemies flying, and it just does disgusting critical damage. As it is a Jacob's weapon, usually those focus more on critical, like sheer power, but usually sacrifices power for you know, slow speeds or whatever. I don't know. At least the melee damage is good too. You have that unique hitting the enemy with that. There's also these two, which you can basically increase your ammo capacity as well. Also found out quite a while ago, I'm not sure when exactly, but you can just skip right to the next tier of upgrades. So if you actually save your money, you don't have to spend as much on ammo upgrades. And I'm pretty sure in playthrough 2 or in playthrough 1 of the DLCs, you can basically get the highest upgrades right away, though they are ridiculously expensive, so. I would say ammo is only a problem if you're using only one weapon type. Like if you have 3 shotguns, you're going to run out of shotgun ammo pretty quickly. And if you don't have a build or whatever that helps you get ammo back quickly, you're going to run out of it pretty quickly. So it's definitely good to have like different weapon types so you don't run out of ammo. Only because like while money isn't an issue and that getting ammo with the money is an issue because ammo is like cheap in this game, you can usually find it in almost every openable chest. You still don't want to use this one weapon type because you're going to run out of it eventually, and it's kind of annoying when it happens. Even if you're using one weapon because of that proficiency type, it's not exactly a good healthy mindset because some weapon types are actually pretty scarce for a reason. Like with the rocket launchers or whatever, you only have a 24. You can only hold up to 24 rockets. The weapons themselves just have their magazine count, but the overall amount of weapons you can, or bullets you can fire, is dependent on the magazine size, if that makes sense. I don't know. All I know is that the weapon types all share the same ammo type, but the weapons that you use, the magazine size helps whether you drain ammo quickly or not. But if you're also using like different shotguns and different abilities, you're still going to drain it very quickly. But yeah, not too much longer now, to be honest. I'm gonna kill this boss, then kill Bonehead. At least get the gate open, maybe talk to whoever, Maybe I'll stop at Arid Hills, because the rest of it is just kind of tedious, busy work. But I'm definitely going to stop when I get to Arid Hills, because that's going to be like my stopping point, is Arid Hills. Since that's another part of the game that can kind of drag a bit, is the long journey from Arid Hills to and back. Fuck. But yeah, I'll definitely do the quit out shit after I kill Nine Toes, since he's the walk back is kind of annoying. There's also a really annoying glitch. I don't think it happens too often, but it did happen to me a little while ago. Not in this session, no, but your character will just spin in one direction really fast, and it's really fucking annoying because you can't stop it and you're basically screwed. It's really, really annoying. I think it happens when you're jumping or something, as you die, but it's still annoying when it does happen because it just induces the worst type of nausea I've ever conceived. It sucks. Yeah, I'm basically dead. There we go. Never mind. Fuck. Well, I'm fucking dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Motherfucker. Oh well. At least I took care of the dog, so they should be fine, but still, it was kind of nonsense. I'll digress. These are my minions. Fuck. Fuck you, you motherfucker. Oh shit, I can actually buy it. Alright, fuck it. I can actually use it in a minute or two anyway. More than likely after this mission. And that's if I get lucky. Highly doubt it. Nobody kills my slaves and lives. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like stick with using that revolver because with the constant corrosion, it'll gradually drain his health. So I definitely have to keep that in mind. Just throw nothing but corrosive at the fucker. Also getting kind of chilly, so I'll up the AC for a little bit. But yeah, that skill ability really does help since it basically lets me use the Scorpio turret a lot quicker, which is good. There we go. Wow. It's not gonna come this way, so I'm fucked. God. It's sort of like the worst Nine Toes run I've had in a while. Especially a New Game Plus. What the fuck? Whatever. If killing boneheads is as annoying as this, I'll just probably cut it off at that point. But I definitely want to kill Nine Toes at least. Alright, at least I'm near him this time, so I can finally get rid of his bitch ass. There we go. Fuck you. The unbreakable thermal shield. Right, sure. Alright, well that's taken care of. Alright. Let me just double check. Can always use more money. Yeah, you get health back after you save and quit, so I don't really care. Alright. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. I'm gonna actually use the bathroom very quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's wrap this up. Wow. Alright, whatever. Oh, shit. You didn't miss much. I was just heading back to, GK Baja. I promise. Alright, level 34, good. I gotta equip the longbow, though. Okay, I was just checking something, sorry. More busted than fucking Moxie's girly parts. Amazing. Alright, let's do this. I'll head over to Lost Cave after this, because I just remembered it can get the whatever there. That's the earliest you can get it at. Normally, anyway. And yes, I'm doing this the cheesy way, but fuck it, I don't really give a shit. It does significantly speed up the process, and I'll probably be leveling up in that cave or whatever, so I'll definitely be doing that. Excuse me, but I do have to do this first, but thankfully it should not take too long, I think. Fuck. I should probably be okay, I guess, to take him on normally, I guess. I really don't know. Oh, put me right back here. Well, good. But hey, the level difference isn't really too bad, at least going from, like, new game to new game plus. Because I believe Bonehead is, like, level 11. And usually around the time you finish the game, you're like around level 33 at least. Maybe around there roughly. Fuck. Fuck. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this out another way. Let me be a little smarter about it. Get the bone shredder. Here, it's a pretty good SMG, actually. Get lots of money that you can't get in this again, unfortunately. And die because of it, but no matter. I got what I needed. Fair enough. Shit, wrong way. Alright. Let's go ahead and turn in the mission. I'm going the completely wrong way, I'm a fucking tard. Catch a ride with the scooter man. Of course. Okay, let's just get the claptrap shit over with. I really don't want to have to. I really want to try to put this game in a dormitory state for just a little while. So I'm going to try to clear up everything I possibly can. Which unfortunately means getting a not guaranteed extra backpack SD because fucking Gearbox wants to troll you with that. That's one of the changes we have to mention, actually. This particular mission where you have to rescue the claptraps, in the first playthrough you are guaranteed a backpack storage deck upgrade, in the second you are not, and it's fucking stupid. It's not exactly favorable, but thankfully it's rather short, so I'll just do that like very quick. Thankfully the HUD icons are fairly distinguishable, so I can tell what ones I need to look for. And of course I can definitely do some leveling too with the other profile for reasons unknown. You never know. Anyway, let me just find the claptrap. I think it's right ahead of me, I think. Yeah, there it is. I still have the longbow equipped, yeah. I can use that. Fuck. Oh, fuck me. Well, to be fair, I am at least like 4 levels below, so that definitely doesn't help things, but you know. I kind of hope to be able to do this seemingly flawlessly, and I definitely did not do it at any capacity of the word flawlessly. But I'm only getting that and that's it. I'm not doing much else. Swag Master, of course. I'll at least sell the stuff I have, but then I'm absolutely getting off after that. There we go. Alright, done. Finally. I technically will also have almost all the trophies except for like the one we have to play with a gearbox and play, which will probably be impossible. But whatever. Alright, let's sell the shit that we just got. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough for anything else because I kind of wasted my money on everything else. Oh wow. Explosive contact with her. The lead wind blows, of course. Oh shit, I'll actually keep that. The glorious machine gun. This I'll keep. This I might keep, maybe. Just to have an extra weapon up my sleeve. We don't need Merv. I'll equip the Bouncing Betty for farming. I'll equip the... Shit, was there another shotgun that I had? However, I don't care. I got a sludge shotgun, so I should be fine. Alright, I should be good now. I'll slowly but surely start to rake in the money. But these things are expensive as fuck. Like, the prices get really insane. Even class mods go for at least $1 million, which is... It gets pretty bad. But it's okay. I love this game. Couldn't you tell? Well, that about does it. I'm going to back up the save and then I'm going to get off. So, yeah, next time I'll do something interesting, I hope.